Hello, and welcome to the Get Lean and Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I'm a certified health coach, trainer, and author. And this podcast is for middle-aged men and women looking to optimize their health and get their bodies back to what it once was 10 to 15 years ago. I will give you simple, actionable items to get long-term sustainable results. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin, and I hope you're having a great day and enjoyed your weekend. And today we're going to talk about 6 ways to help prevent, or I like to say slow down aging. Essentially, I always think it's a big compliment that I tell people my age sometimes, and they're like, oh, 41? I thought you were like 30. So that's the goal. I would imagine for a lot of people listening to this podcast is we want to feel and look young. And I'm going to give you some ways that have helped me over the years, and hopefully you can take them and apply them in your own life. And number 1 would be avoid being in a high glucose, high insulin environment. And, essentially, I talk about this a lot because the best way to lower insulin is to fast. And essentially, you want to make your body metabolically flexible. You hear that all the time. But you also want to keep those insulin levels at a low, is a safe low level for majority of the day. If you keep getting glucose and insulin spikes, it's just going to promote what's called oxidative stress and free radicals. Now, it's okay to have a little bit of those, but when you're getting those all the time every day, that is going to accelerate aging. So that would be number 1. Number 2 would be chronic stress accelerates aging and disease. I think we all know that. I think there's good stress and there's bad stress and there's chronic stress. It's okay to have acute stress, which is every once in a while, right? Like if intermittent fasting is a form of stress. Working out is a form of stress. But too many stress hormones decreases your mitochondrial functioning and makes you more prone to disease because of a weakened immune system, high insulin, and damage to cells. So essentially, we want stress management, right? And we can do this many ways, okay? We could do this obviously through meditation, through yoga, even through getting up and going for a walk. So these are just little things that you can do to help eliminate some chronic stress going on in your life. Number 3, sleep deprivation pretty much promotes all disease. I think we talk about it a lot, but sleep is like the number 1 pillar of health. And if your body's circadian rhythm is off, if it's misaligned, this is going to cause cellular stress, and you'll pretty much predispose yourself to all types of dysfunction. So, not surprised, sleep, stress, and high insulin all in the top 3 there. Number 4, you want to avoid environmental toxins and pollutions. And this one maybe doesn't get talked as much. If you want to look back, I interviewed the Toxin Terminator. Just look that up on the podcast. And that's all she focuses on. And this is lowering, your exposure to these environmental toxins, polluted air, polluted water, heavy metal exposure, mercury in foods. Okay. Certain foods obviously are higher in mercury than others. Pesticides, GMO crops, toxic personal care products. There's a lot of great companies now that sell personal care items. I would say if you're buying your personal care items that are just completely mainstream, probably not a good idea. I'd probably look to, I know there's a company called Beauty Counter. I have a friend who works for them or reps their products, and they have a lot of good toxic personal care products. But the bottom line is, if you're buying all your things for yourself that you're putting on your body, in your body, and it's mainstream, it's probably not the best for you. Let's just put it that way. So number 5, right? Number 5, avoid inflammation. Okay. Avoid inflammation as much as we can. Some inflammation, again, is good, right? If you get a cut, there's going to be inflammatory markers that go to that. But, inflammation is correlated with almost all disease, a lot of them, as it, directly decreases the body's immune system. And, so things that cause inflammation, processes the processing of food and overcooking also as well, right? So I try to be aware of this because I do grill a lot, not to overcook the foods, and occasionally taking a break maybe from grilling, because that'll increase the number of free radicals in the food, and also the carcinogens in it as well. So avoid inflammation, and a lot of avoiding inflammation is just avoiding seed oils, and lessening sugars and flour and things like that, which can cause a lot of inflammation in the body. Lastly, fasting. Fasting can help prevent aging for sure. There's been studies done on how it can actually increase your growth hormone, and essentially that is key when you're aging, because growth hormone a lot of times can dictate muscle mass and bone mass and things like that. So doing some bit of fasting can definitely help, and also help calm inflammation as well. When you're not feeding the body can go heal other parts, and your gut digestive health as well. So I can do a whole podcast on that, but those are my 6 ways. We could probably keep going with this, but those will help slow down aging. Avoid high glucose environments, avoid chronic stress as much as you can, do things like meditation and reading. Sleep deprivation, obviously you want to make sleep a priority and have a good sleep routine. Avoid toxins that are either in your water or you're putting on your skin. Avoid inflammation, mainly through foods that you're eating. This could be overcooked foods, and this could just be processed foods. And then lastly, balancing out your feeding times with some fasting times. So anyways, I hope this micro podcast gave you some good tips for the day. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment on YouTube, or in any of my social media platforms, or reach out to me at brian@briangrin.com, and I can get back with you with an answer. So if I don't know it, I'll find someone that does. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks so much for listening. Hey, Get Lean, Eat Clean Nation. Are you a man between the ages of 40 and 60 years old, looking to lose inches around your waist, have significantly more energy throughout the day, and gain muscle, all while minimizing the risk of injuries? Well, I'm looking for 3 to 5 people to work one-on-one with in my Fat Burner Blueprint Signature program, which I've developed by utilizing my 15 years experience in the health and fitness space. This program is designed specifically for those committed to making serious progress towards their health goals over the next 6 months. We will focus on sleep, stress, nutrition, meal timing, and building lean muscle. If this sounds like a fit for you, email me at brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. That's brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. Thanks for listening to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. I understand there are millions of other podcasts out there, and you've chosen to listen to mine, and I appreciate that. Check out the show notes at briangrin.com for everything that was mentioned in this episode. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend or family member that's looking to get their body back to what it once was. Thanks again, and have a great day.